Irie friends, welcome back to the channel. We are finally able to go outside. We've been having like 3 days of just really hot weather. I've been coming outside against my will because I had to water the garden, but it's been really hot and muggy for like the past 2 days. But finally today it's cooled down a lot. I'm so grateful for this 85-degree weather. And it's actually supposed to rain for the next 2 or 3 days. According to the weather, who knows, that may change. But right now I have a lot of garlic that is needing to be pulled out. So you guys just saw where I took off the garlic scapes, and just a little reminder, garlic scapes come on the hardneck garlic. That type of garlic is usually recommended for our area, any area that gets quite cold, whereas the softneck garlic is usually recommended for more hotter regions. So I normally plant both softneck and hardneck, but I mostly plant hardneck garlic. I normally plant the hardneck garlic because they have larger cloves, which is so much easier for me when it comes to like peeling. I don't like to deal with these smaller ones actually. And most of these garlics that I planted, I'll go through the ones that are new. I usually put it on the tag whenever I first planted them, but I don't have a lot of new varieties. Most of the garlics that I planted comes from heads that I purchased, and I picked out the largest cloves from those heads and I replanted them. These birds were like so quiet until I got out and tried to record. Let me show you what they look like now, which is like the signs that they need to be pulled. Okay, so here is how I tell that the garlics are ready. Usually I wait until like 3 or 4 of the lower leaves have dried out. So something like this is a good indicator. Also, if you just look at the entire bed, you could tell here, like, leaves start actually from, even though this is not pushing out, you could see that there was a leaf here, one here, and another one here. So that's 3 lower leaves that had died out. Same thing for this bed over here. Just glancing at it, you could tell that they're ready. Same thing over here as well. So because we have rain coming up in the forecast, usually you want to take out your garlic when the area is dry. Not only does it make it easier to pull up the garlic, but when it rains, almost introduces like a chance for the garlic heads to rot, and I don't want to chance that. It could be fine, but again, I like to have a dry period and then go ahead and pull my garlic versus having it be ready and then it rains for a few days and then it rots underneath. So this is why I'm going to try to get them all up right now. The peppers are looking really good over here. Look at that. I forgot to show you guys the peppers in the garden tour. I have another garden tour coming up really soon, so maybe you'll see that as well. So normally when I plant my garlics and I'm planting multiple varieties in each row, I would have like maybe like a bamboo stick or something to kind of divide them to show them, but I think I wanted to make it harder for myself this year, and I planted 4 different varieties all in this bed. I didn't separate them with like a rod or anything. All I did was write 2 rows, 4 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows. So I have the Georgian, the kettle, the Lenin rod, and the Metici. And then I had an issue where the middle part of my row kind of fell over and the garlic ended up rotting underneath. So my rows are kind of off. I think there was well, I know these first ones are the Georgian. So let's pull this out. I'm gonna leave the book here because this row is good. This row is actually the Klamath and the Russian, and I do have something separate in it, so that's good. Let's try to get this out. These stalks are pretty thick, which usually means you have like a thicker garlic. looks pretty good. I don't have the separation. Oh, this one is early. That's why. I don't have the separation yet. Usually I like to wait until you get that good indentation of like the separation of the clothes. But as you can see, only 2 leaves are dead. The third one is on its way. So that tells me this one was early, but still good. This one has the 3 leaves. Let's see the difference with this one. You could see a little bit more indentation on this one. 1, 2, 3 leaves, 4 leaves. I'm surprised it's not showing more, but still pretty good. And this one is past due. Usually anytime you have garlics planted and it seems like there's a few in the bunch that is ahead, that is not a good sign. You never want your garlics to be ahead. They should all be at the same stage. If you look at the leaves for this, almost all of them are dead, whereas the other ones, just 2 or 3 leaves have died back. Because this is ahead, it's not a good sign. It usually means that the garlic is rotting underneath, which is essentially what was happening to this one. Oh, this is big. Oh, look at that. Put my hand behind it for reference. Huge. So these have labels because they were taken from garlics that I grew previous years. But only the back says music. I wonder if the entire bed is music. Let me double check. So the first 5 rows is the German hardy. I first planted these in 2023. And then we have the music that I first planted. Let me check. The music was first planted in 2023 as well. Oh, here's the tag for the German. This one is the German extra hardy that I planted back in 2022. I also surrounded it with some ruby red onions, which next time I do like an interplanting of onions. I think these are actually scallions. No, they're onions. I'm gonna just try to get them a little section by themselves because the foliage for the garlic, I could tell, was really interfering with the growth. So, and then just even harvesting the garlics, I'm really trying to make sure not to accidentally pull out any of the onions. So something to think about for next year. We got 2 red scallions now. So the last 2 that we're going to pull for today is, the front one is the chestnut red that was first planted in 2023. And then in the back we have the Romanian red that was first planted in 2022. So you may be wondering why I put the dates for the varieties that I planted. Number one, the dates match up to the different suppliers that I purchased from. I've purchased from Southern Exposure. I've purchased from Mad Garlic, and I forgot the third one, but I'll put it on the screen. And I just found that I get different results based on the supplier. I also like to put the dates just for my personal reason. I want to see if when I save my own garlic, am I still getting like nice big garlics from the big cloves that I pick? And so far that has been true. You know, at any point that I could cut out having to purchase from anybody outside, I want to go ahead and do that just to be more self-sufficient. Last year I planted about 500 or so garlics. I saved half of them to plant this year, and I'm going to continue doing the same thing. I'm going to cut out a couple of the garlics from my lineup because they're just not growing as big as I want them to. And I think by next year I should have it down pat as to what garlics I want to grow. I want to just limit it to just 3 or 4 beds max. And yeah, I like to sometimes experiment, have a bed of experimental garden varieties, which is what I did with that top bed. I put 4 varieties in that bed. But I think next year I'm just going to stick to any of the varieties that I have, which is why it's also important for me to make sure that whenever I harvest them, I'm keeping them separate based on the names so that I could take from that and replant to continue getting more. So that is just my way of doing it. If you guys don't care, just plant them all together. I don't really taste much difference when it comes to the garlics. Honestly, it's just my OCD. Let's go ahead and pull this last bed before the rain comes down on us. And then I also have to go to the movies with the girls. Usually after I pull it, it's the next day, it's not raining. And I kind of leave the garlic heads outside as long as I possibly can to have them cure a bit outside. I normally cure them the rest of the time in that back room, but it is pretty hot in there. You want good air circulation whenever it comes to the curing process. And that back room doesn't have good air circulation. So if I could keep the garlics out as long as I possibly can, that's what I like to do. As far as storing them, depending on the variety, they have different storage time. They'll go anywhere from like 4 months to 6 months, I believe. It all depends on the variety. So you just want to check the variety description wherever you purchase your sea garlic. And I think I pulled these too early. Yeah, these are too early, but whatever. I'm not planting chestnut red again next year. They're just a little bit too small for my liking. So I'm fine with pulling these early. It's really important that you cure them for the proper amount of time. Make sure that they're nice and dried out. If you rush the curing process, you can end up with garlic that rots in storage, and you definitely don't want that after spending 9 months kind of growing them and taking care of them. You just want to spend that extra time to properly cure your garlic. So we are in the back room. It's now been maybe like a few days after we did the initial harvest of all the garlics, and I just kind of laid them out, making sure to separate them by variety. The first row up here we have the 4 garlics that we had done in that one bed together. So the first one, I believe this is the Georgian Fire, and we have some really good sized ones here. Like if I put my hand in front of this one, I believe this is our largest one right here. This is also a really good size one. I do believe that if the garlics didn't get knocked over, I would have had a much better harvest. I am going to continue to grow this one, so I'm going to save the biggest ones from here because it's not a lot. That means that I'm not going to be able to enjoy much of this variety this year, but that's fine. Again, all of the ones from the first row is from Mad River garlic growers, and definitely would highly recommend. All the garlics were pretty good size, so I will definitely be continuing to purchase from this company. And I was giving away some garlics and I forgot that there was actually 4 rows. So the second row is the Kettle River garlic, and you could see it's a good size garlic here. Definitely going to just go ahead and purchase maybe a pound of the Kettle River. Really enjoy how large this is. It looks like it has about 2, 4, 6, 7 cloves. So I think that's a good size, good amount of cloves. And then this one I believe is the Leningrad, I'm not sure, but we also have some large size garlic here. And whenever I was purchasing the varieties from Mad River, I made sure all of the garlics were large size garlics. You can see a nice big one here as well. So most of these are going to go to planting for next year. Now this one is I think Mystic. Gosh, why am I not remembering this one? Is it Mystic River? Yeah, Mystic River. Also, nice sized garlics. You can see here. Just really, really good size. Definitely going to replant this again for next year. I'm really excited to try this one as well. We have 2 more garlics from Mad Rivers that are still in the ground. We have the Romanian red, and then we have the Russian red, and we have the Klamath. Stop touching it. Oh my God. And then we also have the Klamath garlic. So I'm really impressed with the harvest from Mad Rivers. Highly, highly recommend them. They have a ton of different garlic options. But yeah, let's move on to this one down here. Oh, I should probably stop trying to take them all out. But this one is I believe this is Cherokee Red. Not impressed with the size. I think I'll probably make this into garlic powder. But here's one of the larger ones. I don't know if you can tell, but compared to my hand, it's like really small. I don't want to deal with that. So not happy with that one. Over here, I believe this one is, I don't have a label for this. Decent size, a little bit bigger than the Cherokee Red, but still not as big as the ones that I've grown from Mad Rivers. We have here the Music Garlic from 2023, so that means this is from Hudson Valley. Decent size, nothing to write home about. Almost like the same size as the German Extra Hardy from 2023. So I don't know, maybe my standards for garlic is now really high from like growing different batches from different places. I'm now like a garlic snob. So, I mean, these are good sized garlics. I shouldn't complain. These are about the size that you'll have in like the grocery store. So I think these are still good. So I am going to go ahead and plant the biggest ones for this again. I do like the music garlic variety. So we have now the chestnut red planted in 2023. So that means it came from Hudson Valley. Decent size. Again, nothing to write home about. It's about the size of your normal grocery store garlic. But if I'm gonna grow my own garlic, I really want like large garlic heads. So I think that's why I'm just so picky about it. But yeah, so that is all the garlics for now. I'm gonna have these in here for maybe another like 2 weeks or so, just to make sure that everything is dried out. You don't want to rush this process, because if you do, you're going to end up having garlics that rot pretty quickly. You'll see that some of them still actually have their scapes on them. I'm going to make sure I get rid of those. The scapes are essentially taking energy from the bulb, and since it's in this drying period, you don't want that to still be on. That's gonna mess with the drying stage of your garlic. But I think that is going to be it for this video. I'll probably harvest and do the curing stuff for the other sets of garlic just on its own. I probably won't record it. But yeah, I am sweating back here, so I'm going to end the video now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful garlic season if you did plant garlic. If you haven't, make sure that you do it next year. It's so easy, so hands-off for the most part. Yeah, continue to Irie up yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.